It also reminds me of Emily in Paris. In insofar as objectively, is this a good book? No. Do I need to read all of it as quickly as possible?
Uh-huh.
Yes. And that is Emily in Paris. Horrible TV show that I must consume in one sitting.
Yeah, it's brain candy. Hey, everyone. I'm Becca, he's Matt, and this is another episode of Book Love Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Today, we are starting a new buddy read.
We read the first half of Skyshade by Alex Aster. It's the third book in the Lightlark series.
Yes, indeedy. And so what are your thoughts so far, Becca? We're like halfway through. How's it trending? How does it compare to the first two books?
I am still enjoying it. You know how when a book does accurately use a label for itself, and you're like, nah, in the first book, and then you get to the third book, and you're like, yeah. It's definitely a young adult book.
Yeah, it's definitely a teen fantasy book.
Uh-huh.
I actually think this, okay. Well, what's it trending at for you?
Probably a solid, like 3.5 to a 4.
Okay. I couldn't help but like, this book is some weird version of Fourth Wing meets Harry Potter.
I don't think I follow that one. Describe.
Oh, it is in the commentary that we will read. So, okay, so in the story, right, Grimm, bonded with Wraith, the pet dragon, and they're just riding dragons through storms. Like, that's the Fourth Wing section.
Okay, yep.
And then, and like Wraith has his wings shredded and, can't fly. And then you have the feather. Aurora's feather is just 100% Tom Riddle's diary.
Yep. Are we just writing? Also Harry Potter's I Will Not Lie.
Oh, no. Like Tom Riddle's diary in book 2 at the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah. That's definitely more accurate. But what came to mind was the visual.
In order to find the traitor, you got to follow the snakes. And that is 100% follow the spiders.
Yes.
And somehow there's also Batman in there.
With the hiding out on the roofs?
Yeah, she's a vigilante.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
No, I'm just like, what is all this random crap we're just shoving in there?
And I feel maybe that's why it feels very young adult to me, because it feels a little bit like, okay.
Yeah, it's like it also reminds me of Emily in Paris. Insofar as objectively, is this a good book? No. Do I need to read all of it as quickly as possible?
Uh-huh.
Yes. And that is Emily in Paris. Horrible TV show that I must consume in one sitting.
Yeah. It's brain candy.
So it's like, I don't know how to rate this book. It's like, okay, yeah, it's like a 2, but also it's sort of like a 4. And I feel weird about that.
I feel like that's my defense for not rating books, because they can be written at one level and enjoyed at a different level.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Do you remember any of our predictions for this book?
Not a 1.
Okay. The one that I remember the most is you and I both 100% agreed that this book was going to be taking place in like the home world.
Yeah, we're not even close.
No, we are not even close.
No, I don't even know if we'll make it to the home world by the end of this book at the rate we're going.
I don't even know if we're going to make it to the home world by the end of the damn series. Do you want to do the recap?
Yeah, I think we should. We should recap.
Start us off.
All right. Nightbane ends with Grimm portaling Isla and the entire Nightshade army back home.
And Skyshade opens exactly in the same spot. No break.
In the aftermath of the battle, Isla battles her own feelings. She loves Oro, but she loves Grimm, but she loves Oro, but she also, really loves Grimm.
Ultimately, Isla decides to believe, she convinces herself that Grimm and the Nightshades are actually just her enemies, and she's got to keep her friends close and her enemies even closer.
She throws herself into being Grimm's wife and co-ruler so that she can gain access and always know what's going on. And she learns that there's a more immediate threat. Winter is coming, and with it, the storms.
Yeah, a little bit of Game of Thrones there. Uh, but just so we're all clear, the storms aren't normal storms. They are like these tempests that bring fire and otherworldly beasts that just destroy Lightlark and Nightshade world stuff.
Grimm's plan is to invade Lightlark and to use the portal to return to the homeworld, leaving the storms behind.
But doing so will apparently doom all of Lightlark, which I don't think is something that was made abundantly clear in the previous book. Anyway, so Isla convinces Grimm to work with her to stop the storms.
But no one knows where to start.
And pivoting from that, Isla comes to detest her powers that have destroyed so many lives. So she goes and visits the blacksmith guy, and he creates bracelets to suppress her power. Um, and she agrees to unalive him at the end of winter as payment for the bracelets. Equal.
Yes, always. Isla remembers she and Grimm have a fully grown, extremely useful dragon named Wraith, and Isla wants to use Wraith to find the Moonling Armada and the oracles on board.
Isla has Grimm teach her how to ride Wraith, and they fly around Nightshade, visiting villages impacted by the storms and trying to learn how to stop them.
Isla uses the first storm as cover to fly Wraith to the sea, searching for Cleo and the Moonlings.
Yep. And she finds them, nearly unaliving herself in the process. And then she learns absolutely nothing useful and comes back completely exhausted, frustrated, and no closer to stopping the storms or her own prophecy.
The next morning, Isla meets with her old guardians. After a hate filled, violent confrontation, Poppy and Tara tell Isla two things: they didn't unalive her parents, even though they previously admitted to it, and all the Nightbeam plants are dead.
Feeling the pressure to avert more storms, Isla and Grimm decide to make the climb to visit the Nightshade prophets. And it takes them 2 days, and they brave heights and beasts and floods and impenetrable darkness. And then they get there.
Only Isla is selected to enter. She meets with a female prophetess named Ida and learns three things.
Number one, in order to stop the storms, Isla must close their source, which is the portal.
No, no one on Lightlark. That was the entirety of book 2. I'm having a hard time with this sentence, apparently. No, not the one on Lightlark. That was the entirety of part 2, where the bridge between the worlds that can be used to the cost of destroying Lightlark itself. No. The portal for the storms is a true rip between worlds and is located on Nightshade. No one knows where it is, and the power to use it doesn't exist on Lightlark.
The second thing she learns is that there is a wildling traitor.
The traitor has already struck by poisoning Nightbane and will lead to her demise. To discover who it is, Isla needs to follow the snakes.
The third thing that she learns is that Ita is unable to tell her about her own prophecy. Only the augur can do that.
Love that name. The
Mm-hmm.
augur is an ex-prophet dude who reads blood, conveniently. And of course, his payment is also blood.
Isla and Grimm hurry out of the mountain and back to the castle, where Isla decides to visit Azul, who is a master of the skies and also apparently storms.
Isla trusts Azul with the prophecy and soaks up as much of his knowledge as possible.
Azul gifts her a stormfinch, which is just a bird that can sense storms, and also a stormstone ring that allows her to capture some of the storm, which then allows her to release that storm and track it to its source. Yeah.
See,
And one more thing. There's a storm coming, and it's going to be the storm to end all storms, apparently.
before going home, Isla visits her old rooms on Wildling and retrieves Aurora's feather and discovers that it has a sharp tip.
she she thinks it might be a quill because why else would a feather be sharp, right? So she dips it in some ink, grabs a fresh piece of parchment, and writes her name for kicks and giggles before returning to Nightshade.
Isla begins avoiding Grimm. They don't talk, like ever. They don't eat together. She doesn't attend meetings. Instead, she begins piecing the puzzle from the prophets together on her own, excluding Grimm at every chance she can.
Isla also visits the wildlings and attempts to suss out who the traitor is, but no dice. So she decides to go visit the augur.
In order to secure a meeting with the augur, Isla needs to offer him a dozen hearts.
Naturally, she stalks various nightshade villages and selects bad people as her victims. Example: Isla saves a woman by unaliving the man that's trying to unalive her. Um, Batman Isla does this kind of routine until she has all the hearts she needs.
According to the augur, in her current state, Isla won't survive past the winter storm season, but she can buy more time and life if she finds the portal. Her fate is linked to it, and it can give her life.
Yeah, the augur urges her to learn who she really is, and where she really comes from, so that she can be all that she can be.
Always love messages like that. After eating dinner alone, Isla leaves her room in search of dessert. And that is how she runs into Grimm.
Grimm tries a little romancing. He takes her to the kitchen and makes her some hot chocolate, which is a cutesy little throwback to book one. And I mean, the heat and the chemistry is still there, but Isla just she puts this mask back on and heads off to bed alone because she's kind of frigid.
Yeah. That night, Isla is awoken by Tyan, a nightshade on Grimm's court who can control someone merely by touching them. And he's touching Isla, and he wants to unalive her.
But before he can, Lynx. Don't forget about Lynx. The big humongo panther pounces on this dude, injuring him just as Grimm appears, but ultimately it's Isla who plunges a dagger into his heart. And man, oh man, does it feel oh so good.
Later that morning, Isla decides to send a message to all the Nightshade court members, and it's epic. She has Grimm gather his court so she can give them the Snake Queen they seem to fear.
Isla glides in wearing a thin, black, seductress gown, and she's covered in snakes, carrying Tynan's head. She throws the head down in front of Grimm, commands her snakes to eat, and then tells the court that they know where to find her if anyone else wants to unalive her. Then she simply glides away.
Astria's, Grimm's general, and Isla's cousin, an only living family, visits Isla after the court meeting while Isla is grooming Lynx. The two get to know each other and bond while discussing Isla's parents, and it's sort of kind of feel good, which is weird.
Mm-hmm. So to celebrate her good mood, Isla portals herself and Lynx to Wildlang so that Lynx can just run around and be free in the forest.
Before leaving, Isla stops by her old room to casually grab some knives and is shocked to see the words, "Hello, Isla," written in Aurora's handwriting.
Freaked out by the Tom Riddle diary feather thing, Isla visits the blacksmith seeking answers, and he has zero answers.
The next day, Grimm tells Isla about the growing discontent of his court, especially after her little demonstration with Tynan, and Grimm proposes a public wedding to help prove her commitment to Grimm and Nightshade.
Isla accepts, but of course, only to stave off an uprising, of course. It's not like she likes him or anything.
Unable to sleep, Isla puts on her Batman costume and goes back to that one Nightshade village night after night, collecting prepayment for her next visit to the Augur.
One night, Isla is sure she's being followed. When she confronts her stalker, it's literally just that woman she saved from being strangled. Her name is Saoirse, and she wants Isla to teach her how to defend herself.
Isla reluctantly agrees, but what starts as one lesson turns into many.
Saoirse just keeps showing up, and an unexpected friendship kind of forms, and the village kind of starts beginning to revere her as a savior.
One night, after returning to her room from a long night as Batman, Isla tries to sleep, but Lynx won't let her, constantly nudging her towards the window.
Because Oro is outside her window. Uh and it's swoon worthy. Isla doesn't have a chance to be overcome by love, though, because the stormfinch begins singing. So Oro remains hidden, and Isla and Grimm fly Wraith into the storm so they can use Azul's ring and track the portal.
However, the storm is so powerful it shreds Wraith's ring, knocks Grimm's magic offline, and causes Isla to lose the storm ring.
A lightning wielding monster thingamajigger appears and strikes Wraith in the neck.
They all crash hard and only survive because Grimm portals them at the last possible second when his powers return.
Back in her room, Isla makes her choice. She tells Oro that they can't be together, like ever, before portaling them back to his room on Lightlark.
We are never getting back together. Zed bursts in on them and shoots Isla with an arrow. Isla portals back to Grimm, who, although enraged, takes care of her injury.
In the aftermath, Isla spends her mornings looking for the lost ring and then her nights on the rooftop in the village, sometimes with Saoirse, sometimes alone.
The morning of the wedding, a gaggle of women swarm around Isla.
They wrap Isla in her wedding dress and dab on her makeup before Astria escorts Isla to the greenhouse garden where the prophetess Ita marries Grimm and Isla in front of hundreds, including all of the wildlings, except notably Tara and Poppy.
They're singing, drinking, dancing. Isla lets her guard down for a few moments and feels the love and trust she has buried deep, deep inside. And it even gets a little spicy with Grimm.
A little bit. But then a guard interrupts the festivities to inform Grimm that the mass grave site from the first storm has been desecrated.
At the gravesite, Isla finds snakes and immediately knows Tara and Poppy are involved and imprison them as traitors.
Because obviously. Determined to find the ring so she can find the portal, Isla visits the blacksmith again, seeking some type of tracking device. But once again, the blacksmith has zilch.
Isla presses him about skyries, symbols imbued with magic that can be invoked, that can invoke power from a long lost soul.
And much like the augur studies blood and requires blood as payment, the skyries price for using them is your soul, often transforming you into a demon over time. But like that doesn't matter because nobody can make them because they're a lost art form, apparently.
Understandably so. So Isla does what any sane person would do. She uses the feather to ask Aurora. Aurora agrees to teach Isla because Aurora wants redemption? But Isla decides to use that as a last resort.
That night, Isla puts on her Batman costume again and visits Saoirse. The two eat food and drink wine on the rooftops, but this time Isla goes all wonky and passes out because she's been poisoned.
Isla wakes up on an island in the middle of a river surrounded by a group of robed, hooded people. Oh, conveniently, all the villagers from the pub she had befriended.
They know exactly who she is, and it is not Grimm's wife. They think she is the promised one, and they are zealous prophet followers that are like offering themselves to her.
And they really, really want Isla to unalive them so they can be transcended to a better place. And Isla is wildly unwilling to unalive them, so they begin attacking her.
And in an act of self-defense, Isla accidentally unalives all of them, including Serja.
It was pretty epic. One of them actually got her to take a sword and ran himself through.
Uh-huh.
If only she had her powers. Huh. She could have prevented this whole mad tragedy by just teleporting out. So she visits the blacksmith and asks him to remove her bracelets.
Days later, Isla talks to Astria about her father. Hard pivot.
He was quite the explorer, which was rare in a world where no one could go outside after dark. He was obsessed with books and maps.
Isla decides to go to her father's bedroom and snoop. The bedroom, by the way, is like in the castle where all the wildlings are staying, if anybody cares. Anyway, she finds maps of the world with lands on them that nobody's ever seen. In particular, there's a huge unknown body of land to the west of Nightshade called Isla.
Isla has never heard that curiosity killed the cat, so Isla immediately portals to Isla, and it's eerily similar to the wildling Newland.
It's luscious, untouched, brimming with wildlife and fruit. Isla flies to see all of it because she can just do that. Before walking through the forest and marveling at its beauty. And then, not for nothing, before she leaves, she just unleashes all of her pent up power.
Mind you, she also decides to portal back and forth to feed the villagers. She just takes all this fruit, just back and forth.
That's also
Feed
true. She has
people.
no idea if the fruit is good to eat or not. She tested one, and she's like, I can feed Nightshade with this.
So finally, the second storm arrives the next day, and Wraith still can't fly.
So Grimm and Isla portal all around Nightshade, evacuating as many citizens as they can back to the castle and tunnels before the storm bears down on everyone.
Isla tries to capture some of the storm in a ring, but it does not work, and they huddle in a ditch, avoiding the shape-made shrapnel, hail, and tornadoes.
Keep going.
That storm kicks off a week of storms, a new one every day.
Full of despair and with a month of winter left, Isla finally picks up the feather and tells Aurora to teach her about Skyries.
And that's where we leave Isla, finally ready to become something terrifying.
And y'all, we need to take a little bit of a break here and thank this episode's sponsor, Prophecy Partners LLC.
Prophecy Partners LLC is the only matchmaking service that connects emotionally unstable chosen ones with entire worlds on the brink of destruction.
Prophecy Partners, they don't believe destiny should be left to chance. They use a proven algorithm to pair each tortured orphan, farm boy, or reclusive knife girl with the continent most in need of a savior.
Are you plagued by visions or haunted by a tragic past? Did you recently discover how to travel through time or wake up one morning with unreasonable martial arts skills?
Then you might be eligible for urgent placement. Worlds are crumbling and Prophecy Partners have quests that need filling now.
You can choose from thousands of opportunities, including Magical Kingdom ruled by a dying queen, post-apocalyptic wasteland with emotional wolves, or a cursed forest that just wants to feel again.
Each match comes complete with a brooding love interest, a secret lineage, and one ancient prophecy that is definitely about you.
Side effects may include betrayal by your mentor, a toxic love triangle, and an incessant war for your soul.
At Prophecy Partners, fate isn't found, it's assigned. Use the link that's not actually in our bio to sign up for yourself. And back to the show. What'd you think? Now that we've recapped it.
Where do we start? I am so confused about this love triangle.
Any particular reason?
The second book, I was like, Isla doesn't love Oro. She doesn't love Oro. And now I'm reading this and I'm like, well, She also doesn't love Grimm. She thinks she maybe does underneath, but her so frigid, and not even like a eensy weensy ounce of like, this man tied his life to my life so that I wouldn't die. Just that means nothing to Isla.
Yeah, Isla's like a little bit of an ungrateful bitch.
This is like sophomore year of high school where you thought you had these friends and you actually don't have those friends, and she's the problem in the friend group.
Yes. Like, actually, I think this book did more for the Isla Oro relationship than the first two books.
Yeah, I actually kind of believe she might like Oro now.
Like, there's like two paragraphs where she's like remembering him drawing her a bath and getting her socks before bed, and I'm like, where was all of this shit in all of the other books?
Right? Like, how are we looking back on a memory we've never had? Interesting.
And I'm also trying to figure out how the magic system works.
Yes.
I was always under the impression that the star stick she uses to portal everywhere required power because there was some conversation at some point between her and Grimm. I think it was in the second book in one of the flashbacks where the star stick can only be used by people with nightshade power.
Yes.
And I guess I just sort of assumed that meant you have more than nightshade blood, like you're actually using the nightshade power in some shape or form.
And that you also needed to know where you were going. So how do we
Um,
make it to an island no one's ever been to?
but if she, and if she has the bracelets on that's suppressing her power, how is she using it? Like, is it literally just I have nightshade blood and I can do whatever the f I want?
Also, I get that she's really, really upset about killing people, but she's done a lot more intentional harm in this book than she did in the previous two.
She's so upset that she killed people, but like she's in Nightshade. So she's almost upset that she killed a bunch of Nightshade people
Mhm,
in the war and now she's living amongst them.
mhm.
So to assuage her guilt, she goes to random villages and unalives more Nightshade people.
But only if they're doing bad things.
If they're doing bad things.
And we're gonna feed their hearts to the augur so that we can then maybe break this curse, not break this curse. I don't know that she wants to break it. I think she just wants to save herself, which is fine.
I don't even think she wants to save herself. I think she just wants to like it's really weird, right? Because her life is tied to Grimm.
Mhm.
If she dies, Grimm dies, and then all of the Nightshade people die because their lives are attached to Grimm's. She doesn't seem like she cares about saving herself. She only seems like she cares about saving Nightshade citizens and Lightlark citizens.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, shouldn't wait. If we're doing the domino effect, shouldn't you just save yourself?
Yes. She's trying to fix the friend group while also extricating herself at the same time. She's like, you should be friends, but I can't stand you. So bye.
uh, um. Oh man. So, what do you think about the all of the new like people that we have that just know everything? So we have like the prophet followers and the augur and the blacksmith, and they all just seem to know stuff.
Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit ahead with this predictions, but I'm like super over it. So we go to the prophets, they say follow the snakes. She finds the snakes with Ren, who is helping lead her little community, and then she's also only pissed at Poppy and Tara. Homegirl, homegirl. Your leader that you appointed in your absence is the one with the snakes that you keep borrowing.
I know that the snakes are supposed to be different. Like the ones that she sees randomly are like half green, half red. And I think the ones that Ren has are only green. And that's supposed to be like,
Significant.
but I'm with you. I'm just like, where there's smoke, there's fire, man.
Who says those snakes just aren't hiding in another room that Ren's working with?
Yeah. I, what do you think? Okay, well, do you think that the Wild League Trader is Ren?
I do.
I do not. I think it's too obvious.
Fair.
But I have zero idea who it would be. I do not think it's Tara and Poppy.
It's definitely not Tara and Poppy, and
Uh-uh.
Homegirl needs to let Tara talk, okay? Okay? Tara is a terrible talker, so you're gonna
Uh-huh.
need maybe to get a glass of wine or two and maybe make Poppy, like, really happy
Yep.
so that Poppy encourages Tara to talk, because that seems to
Yep.
be this codependent relationship.
Yeah, they're like a horrible, weird, like Fairly Odd couple.
Yes. Yes, they are very, very codependent.
And what is with this? Like in book one, they're like, "Yeah, we killed your parents." Now they're like, hey, we didn't do that."
And they admitted it, and uh, you could you could just start with the truth when you finally are figured out. You don't have to add a second lie that then has to be uncovered.
I'm starting to wonder if Alex Aster even knows what the truth is, and if she's just sort of like making it up as she goes.
Maybe that's half the fun for her.
Like I feel like this is like Emily in Paris, where they wear all of these amazing clothes, but then they go back to the apartment that doesn't have a closet. It's just like it is because it's magic.
Obviously.
Oh boy. Okay. So
Who would you rather visit? Would you rather visit the augur, the blacksmiths, or the prophets?
that's a okay. We're not going to the prophet place because I'm not making that there alive.
The
That's
2-day trek.
um. So is it the augur's creepy? I think the blacksmith would actually be a pretty good drinking buddy. He seems pretty down in the dumps.
Yes. But I think he would be more likely to strike you down, whereas the augur would be like, "Hey, bud, I think you're a little lost. You didn't bring me enough blood, and you don't have enough problems. So, I can take you as payment, or you could just run on."
I feel like this is where we need some like cross fantasy world action. Like we need to go to one of the vampire stories where they just have like synthetic blood and you're just like, "Yep, I'm going to the hospital. I'm just going to get a whole box of this stuff and take it to the augur." I think you're right though. I think the augur is the least death wish. It's the least death wish. That's not a great phrase, but
But I don't get why, because he literally tries to drown Isla in blood.
I know. And then he's like, "What? You came to me. You didn't
Yeah.
know what I do?"
He's like, "You have questions, I have answers. This is the process. Here's the fine print."
I want to know how does so like how does all this prophecy crap work? At least with the blacksmith, we know that he came from the homeworld and he just has a shit ton of memories. But like the prophets and the augur and the zealot people, how do they know things?
Well, they also have ties to the other world, but we don't really fully understand them yet.
Yeah.
And the blacksmith, the fact that he's like, "Hey, payment is unaliving me," is also, like, deeply sad.
Yes. But
He's like, "I have
also,
all these memories, and I don't want them. Bye."
after living in 2025, I can kind of sympathize though. But like Okay, so let me put it this way. The all of the chapters where Isla is playing Batman and befriending Saoirse simply culminate with Saoirse and all of her people no longer existing.
That's gonna come back to bite us in the butt, but I have
And
no
and
idea.
I want to know how. Like what is the payoff going to be for getting me, because I actually really liked Saoirse. I was like, yeah, go girl, defend yourself, because there's always the defenseless person that gets trained by the chosen one in all of the book series, but now she'd be dead.
Yeah. Is she gonna join Aurora in the in-between, riding with the feather?
Oh my god.
In
Can
which
we
case, homegirl, you could've just stayed on the roof, but okay.
can we talk about the Tom Riddle diary? Like, can we really? So this is it's a horcrux. It has a piece of soul in it, according to the blacksmith.
Okay, but how often have you found a piece of paper and a quill and you went, "I'm gonna just write my name"?
Literally never.
It would've made, like, a little more sense if it would've been, like, a sentence to hold on to. Maybe if she had, like, written down the prophecy to help her remember it, like, "How do I get out of this mess? What's going on in this world?" That would've been a little more interesting than just,
Yeah.
"Hello, Isla," from
I think
the Grimm.
I get the Harry Potter vibes, because the first thing that Harry Potter writes in that diary is, "My name is Harry Potter," which is also just like the stupidest thing anybody can do ever. I don't care if he's 12 years old.
I'll give a 12-year-old. That's fine. I've read some of the books I made in 3rd grade. They were wildly embarrassing.
Yeah, that's true. But like, so Aurora is writing back. Here's the $1 million question. Does Aurora actually want to be helpful because of redemption, or is she just playing everybody like a fool?
We're still up to some type of tomfoolery, but I think maybe she does have remorse?
Maybe. I mean, I'd be remorseful if I was killed. I'd be like, "Oh, life is cool. I wish I
And
had
I
that."
feel like if you're 1,000 years old, you're both remorseful and then also you regret nothing, so I feel like that's probably, like, a weird spot to be in.
I'd probably be pissed. I'd be like, "That stupid 19-year-old BI you know what took me down. That shouldn't have happened."
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be befriending her of all people.
No. No, absolutely not. Uh, oh my god. Um, what happens with the love triangle? Because she tells Oro to go pound rocks, and then goes to an island and accesses his love powers or whatever and flies.
I think she meant it when she told him to kick rocks. I think she's also gonna, like, divorce Grimm. I think we're gonna get a 3rd option in a 5th book.
So you think Isla is like a strong, independent woman who don't need no male ruler?
Yeah, I think she finally got the taste of, escaping, fell in love quickly, made some pretty poor decisions, and then repeated that process after her memories were wiped, like one would when we're 19,
Sure.
um, and now went, "Oh, you're not supposed to do happily forever after with the first person you meet necessarily."
Oh no, does she resurrect Aurora and get with Aurora?
That would be fascinating, and I would sign up for that book.
Or does she melt Cleo's frozen heart?
Yeah, Cleo's gotta come back. I need more from Cleo because that scene also was suspicious. We're going, all the oracles are dead, we're flying away and leaving. Get off my boat. That's I
Also,
these boats are in the sky every time I read this. I know that's probably not realistic, but there's not enough description, so they're in the sky.
I don't think Cleo unalived the oracles. I'm pretty sure they're still there. She's just hiding them. Yeah. Ugh. What? Okay. What else is on your mind from this story?
I don't have a lot because I feel like there's so much chaos in this book that, like, trying to make a prediction is both great because you can make outlandish ideas and they actually might happen, or it's gonna get way more outlandish than you predicted.
Oh, I forgot a Harry Potter reference. I forgot one. Because I left it out. I left it out of the recap because it when she follows the snakes that one night, it leads her to a magical mirror.
Oh, yes,
That's
yes,
the
yes, yes.
freaking mirror of Erised.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do some predictions. The augur.
Yeah.
No, not the augur. The blacksmith. Does she fulfill her promise and off the blacksmith?
No. She decides she needs him for something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does she off the augur?
No.
Does she go back to the prophet's stronghold and off a whole bunch of prophets and prophetesses and whatever?
No, but she does go back.
Does she fulfill the prophecy at the end of this book?
No, she hasn't filled one yet. Why would she fill this one? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay. Who, again, at this point, who are you rooting for? Her and Grimm or her and Oro? I know you said
Oh.
what you think is going to happen, but is that what you want to happen?
I am independently rooting for Grimm, and I really need Grimm to get a new girl.
Grimm is way too understanding and accommodating in this book.
And he says, "Let me learn how to love you better." And he's already been leaving her flowers, all of her favorite food. He knows exactly how she likes her hot chocolate. Like, yeah,
Reads
the
your
dude's done some
face.
pretty messed up things, but like, you could do a lot worse, friend.
Yeah. Like, he seems sort of like the perfect guy.
I feel like we also like really quickly went through this whole like he's at fault for her missing her memories, even though one of the memories she eventually got back was, "Hey Grim, will you please, 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 please get rid of all of my memories? They're haunting me." And so he gives in to what she wants and needs. And he's the bad guy?
I mean, yes, and with the shade of gray that he also did it without telling her he was going to do it, or that he without telling her that he was giving into her request, because the real thing was going along with Aurora's scheme. So like it coincided with what she wanted, but she's mad because she doesn't know that's what she wanted, or she wasn't she you're right, she's a petty high school girl. Like she she got what she wanted, but she didn't get it in the way that she thought she was gonna get it. So
Yeah.
now it's somebody's fault.
Yeah. She got the broccoli that she wanted for dinner, but it was steamed instead of roasted.
Yes. And we all want roasted.
Yeah. I mean, it's not wrong.
Um, oh my goodness.
And even though I'm starting to dislike her as a main character, I'm so excited for the rest of the ride. Like, I haven't read many books where if I don't like the main character, that I still enjoy the book. And that's what almost makes this really good for me.
It's Emily in Paris. I think it's the perfect comparison. I don't do you watch Emily in Paris at all? Am I no? Oh my
No, no.
goodness. It's just I'm sure you've seen the memes on the internet though. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Um ugh. Okay. So, um I love how Alex Aster had to have Oro show up. So like we all remember that Oro's a character.
And he flew for like what, 7 days to reach there?
Um Here's one bit of props that I will give Alex Aster as a writer,
Mhm.
right? So we always have this like especially in fantasy, the morally gray
Mhm.
character. Um, I think Grimm is a really good example of morally gray character, the like normal kind, because the normal kind of morally gray character is they do bad things that make sense
Yeah.
when they do them.
Yeah.
Um, Isla, however, is morally gray, but she's not morally gray,
Mhm.
right? She does horrible things that usually don't make sense
Yeah.
to us, but they make sense to the people in the book.
Yeah.
But then the Nightshades think she's a traitor, but then the Lightlark people think she's a traitor. So like it doesn't matter what she does, it's always lose, lose, lose for her.
Yep.
And I feel like that is a really interesting, morally gray concept. Like it's all like twisted around. It's like so I give the author props on that one. It's kind of cool.
Even Oro has some morally gray, even though he's supposed to be this shining light of superiority.
It's a golden retriever. I love that. Okay, so looking forward at the second half of the book. I mean, that's pretty much all we got
Mhm.
to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Um, okay. What do you think happens?
I don't know. This is hard. I think they find the storm portal and realize they have no capacity to close it.
But clearly she doesn't die
Yeah, because we still have one more book.
so far.
Do they go across the other portal on Wildling to the other world? Does Grimm
I don't
finally
know.
win?
That one's supposed to allegedly doom all of Lightlark.
Oh, she's already
So,
killed half of them.
uh okay, I think the book goes to the end of winter. I think the book ends with the end of winter.
Yeah.
I don't think Isla is unalived. I don't think she chooses Grimm or Oro. I do think that she finds the wildling traitor.
Yes, I think that part of the plot will wrap up. I also, to your point, I wonder if we find the oracles. I wonder if we get another prophecy person pulled back in.
Yes. You know, that would make a lot of sense if she finds a loophole to the prophecy
Mhm.
through another prophecy or whatever.
That is usually how prophecies are taken care of. Loopholes.
They're just wannabe lawyers. That's what they are.
Yes. The whole "it is written," yeah, it's written weird for a reason.
Oh man. I think they find a way to stop the storms, but I don't know if it's the way we think it is.
Do you think they find the way and the next book is them successfully stopping them? Or do you think they finish all of that in this book?
I think they find a way to close the storms off, but it probably just creates more problems, and that's how the book ends, which is more problems.
We always need more problems.
Yeah, you know, less storms, more problems. It's a rap song,
Ugh.
and I think she stops being Batman.
It hasn't worked out well.
No, I think the whole Batman arc is supposed to show us that there's like something dark and sinister that needs fed inside her, and I think she'll find a different way to feed that.
Yeah.
Hmm. I also think there's going to be something sinister on the Isla Island land place. I don't know
I
what
do
it
think
is,
we
but
get back.
I don't think it's going to be just a hunky-dory paradise. There's something bad there.
Yeah, it's hiding secrets.
Uh-huh. So, okay, so we have like 48% of the book left. So we'll go read that and reconvene.
Sounds good. Sounds like we should put a bookmark in it for now.
Yes, indeedy. Don't forget to leave us a comment, send us an email, what have you. Our contact info is in the description down below.
Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.